everybody, today I am reviewing a product from IT Cosmetics, the CC Plus Radiance Ombre Bronzer. When you pop it open, you can see that it has this really pretty kind of gradient effect to the bronzer. Down here you actually have a matte bronzer. In the middle you start to get a little bit of shimmer, and then up top you've got purely like a highlight type shade. So this is a kind of product you could easily, mix your brush in all of it and get kind of a middle of the road shimmery bronzer, or you can focus your brush in the certain areas, which is what I usually do. The texture of this product is absolutely beautiful. As opposed to being a really powdery product, which I think you kind of expect. This is a powder compact. It's going to be maybe a little bit dusty or flaky, but really this has such a smooth, creamy, rich consistency. I love that about it. Still, I think it has all the blendability of a powder when you're trying to put it on your cheeks and maybe use it as a contour or whatever. Now this has a waterproof claim to it, which I have not yet tested. I will have to add this to the list of things that I'm gonna try out when I do my waterproof makeup test here before too long. I can say that it is very long wearing, just in everyday activity kind of mode. But it is talc free, paraben free, sodium lauryl sulfate free, mineral oil free, petrolatum free. It has no fragrance. When I was first thinking about buying this product, I was a little skeptical as to whether this bronzer would be deep enough to really make an impact with contouring on my skin tone, but it definitely does. I feel like I'm able to get a nice amount of depth right in the hollows of my cheeks. I love the way this comes off around my hairline. It looks so natural. So I did shoot a little demo of that, just kind of taking it in my cheekbones, really get the product on there, and then I'm able to buff it out. I can use it around my hairline very easily. Like I said, I think you could take this down the nose if you're one who is a nose contourer person. Moving on to this middle section, how is that useful? Because that definitely does contain some shimmer, and the way I'll use that is either target my brush kind of right in that section, or blend that down into the matte bronzer just a little bit, and use that for kind of a sun-kissed look on the areas of my skin where the sun would naturally hit. So right on top of my cheeks, dusted across the forehead, just something I'm going to do a light dusting of because I don't really like tons of shimmer everywhere. I like to control it a little bit. I go on and use this lightest part in really targeted areas. I think this can be great up on your brow bone. A nice highlight right down the nose, right on top of the cheeks, Cupid's bow. And I've even used it as eyeshadow. I mean, I can get 3 distinctly different eyeshadow shades out of this and, get a really natural depth in my crease, a little bit of brightness on the lid, around the inner corners. So I love that. I think the palette's very practical from a multitasking sense. You've got matte bronzer, you've got shimmer bronzer, highlight, eyeshadows potentially, lots going on here. One downside that I could see running into though down the road as I continue to use this is that I'm probably going to run out of the bronzer part first, the matte bronzer, because I feel like that's what's getting used the most in terms of just amount of product. And then I'm using the highlight, for example, in a much more limited amount. So this compact isn't going to necessarily continue to have that great multitasking ability once I run out of this bad boy, right? So for the price tag of $34, is it worth it? Again, I can't take anything away from the quality and the texture. I think it just feels heavenly. It blends really nicely going on the skin, doesn't add any sort of a powdery or dry look to my skin. It just looks really fresh. Time will tell as far as how soon I run out of this bronzer. I'll have to keep you updated on that. But I still think this product for me is worth it because I have other bronzers in my collection, other things I can go to. Maybe I'll use that as my contour sometimes. Maybe this will be something I go to just for the highlight, or just for, a swirl of all three and dusting it all over my décolleté or shoulders or something like that. So for this not being like the only bronzing product that I'm going to be going to, I think it will still be very valuable to me. If you're looking at this and you've seen what I've done with it and you're thinking, well, I'm really only interested in having a bronzer, then don't waste your time with buying a compact that's, 2/3 shimmer. But if you're one who really likes to drift between sometimes using a bronzer that's matte, sometimes one that's shimmer, and you like the highlight in there too, this could be a really good value for you. So gotta say, really pleasantly surprised by this little guy. Not only does it serve a lot of functions, but it seems to do those things really well. So definitely an effective multitasking type of product in my collection. So thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you again next time. Bye.